Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, and blessings and salutations be to the hopeful elect. Real quick, man, this is a piggyback to the new trend that's been going around that we will be saved by the law, which in fact is not biblical. If you're going to be justified by the law, that means you have to keep the law 100% perfectly. And we know that none of you guys that's claiming to be Israelites are doing that. All right, we're not even doing it because it's damn near impossible to keep the law perfect when you're not a sovereign. Okay, when you're in your enemy's land, all right, and you're a conquered nation, you cannot keep or exercise your law, statutes, and commandments because those are really given for sovereigns and really for sinners. Okay, so if you are judging by the law, statutes, and commandments, you're going to be held to that same judgment. Because which one of you jakes have every Shabbat off? Okay, like right now, I'm in a Shabbat, we in a Shabbat, but I'm at work. Technically, hey, you got some sins that's worthy of death. Okay, but you got to understand that we're under grace. We're under grace period right now because Yahweh Shai, he redeemed us from the law, man. He took that upon himself and paid that ultimate tab. Now, while the law is yet good, okay, it is good to try to keep the commandments to the best of your ability. That's why brothers wear beards, we wear our fringes when we go out and speak. Okay, we keep the high holy days, we keep the Passover, which is very important. All right, we keep the Sabbath to the best of our ability. All right, we don't commit adultery, we don't eat unclean foods, etc. So we're keeping the law, but we're rehearsing the righteous acts because the scriptures say, thou shalt rehearse the righteous acts in the land of joy and waters, which is America. So all you jakes out there that come in that scribe and Pharisee spirit, oh, you gotta wear your fringes 24/7. You gotta wear your fringes, brother. Man, get out of here with that. All right, because the fringes were put into place when a man picked up sticks on the Shabbat and was put to death for it. Because the scriptures say that you're not supposed to do any manner of work therein. But hey, when they caught Yahweh Shai and they was trying to trap him up and they found him healing on the Shabbat, they tried to stone him. That's what he said, man. Would it be unlawful for a man to do good on the Shabbat? Okay, so if I seen an elderly Jake woman carrying up grocery stores on an icy platform, do I not help her out? Or do I just let her fall and break her head because I'm under the law? You Jakes are stupid as hell, man, and you're going to be judged by that same moat because, hey, you're not giving him mercy, all right? Now, we didn't say that you don't keep the law, but it's just certain laws that just you can't do it. Same thing with the Passover, man. Are you Jakes going back to Jerusalem 3 times a year for the high holy days? Are you Jakes keeping the law of the Nazarite perfectly, which you definitely not, Sakari? All right, or were you Jake's exercise circumcised, or did you circumcise your sons on the 8th day? Fuck no, you did. And we could go on and on. When you're roasting your lamb, are you roasting the lamb in its entirety? All right, and are you destroying the rest of it with fire after the Passover is over with, or after the first night of the Passover? Or are you eating leftovers, man? Okay, or are you eating lamb chops and lamb shoulders and etc.? Or are you roasting the whole goddamn lamb with the head on it? Fuck no, you're not doing that. So we can go tick for tack all day about the law, but it's not profitable, man. All right. So let's go. This is the book of Romans 3, and I'm gonna start at verses. Let's start at verses 20. Matter of fact, let's start at 19. It says, now we know that the things soever the law said, it said to them who are under the law. Okay, now we have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, but we're not going to be delivered by that. All right, because if you depending on the Lord to deliver you based on the law, statutes, and commandments, you basically saying Yahweh Shai died in vain, because no man could keep the law perfectly. And you basically saying, well, I got this. You ain't got it, man, because which one of you clowns out there can take on the burden that Yahweh Shai did, putting himself up for sacrifice for the nation of Israel? Sakari, would you do it? Hell no, man. Would you do it, Nate? Fuck no, you won't do it. All right? I want to see one of you Jakes go up on a cross and atone for the whole nation of Israel, man. You couldn't do it. So how dare you sit up here and do away with Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, man? Because he bounded along himself. Okay? And we didn't say break it. Okay, we don't get lineups. And the same, wait a minute, same guys that's teaching you got to keep the law, statutes, commandments, you niggas are getting your hair lined up. So you see the hypocrisy in that? And it says here, and every mouth may be stopped, and all the world may become guilty before the Most High. Right. Because if we go off the law, then we're condemned. Okay, because like I just read, the law is put into place for sinners. And it says, therefore, by the deeds of the law, there should no flesh be justified in his sight. For the law is the knowledge of sin. So that's the reason why you wear the fringes, because you're acknowledging that this is what you do. All right, give me 1 second, brother. 1 second.
I was gonna say, if you want to put your end of miles on there right now, and because I left the route at 3 o'clock. You can put 304, you know.
Okay.
I'm gonna take our time getting in there, because by the time I get to the pump and all that, it's gonna be real close to 3:30 anyway.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that. Bet it up. I want to say about 5 more minutes. Want to say it for like.
We leave it here at 1:45.
1:45. Okay. Okay.
I'm slow in it.
Oh, okay. Bet. Here's one of the co-workers, man. Anyway, so basically, when you wearing the fringes, you're acknowledging the fact that. Hold on 1 second. Little hole, yeah.
Was it like that when you took it out?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, this is a raggedy ass truck anyway. So yeah, when you have the fringes on and the borders are blue, like the elder said, you make this a fashion statement. It is not a fashion statement. This is to remind you that, hey, your ass went off. All right. So, hey, like I said, if you wear fringes, it's cool. But, hey, don't be over righteous with that, because that's not going to save you. You know, you worried about the fringes more than the name of the Lord, which is hypocrisy. So, reading here, it says here, therefore, the deeds of the law should no flesh be justified in his sight. But it says, but for by the law is the knowledge of sin. That's right. So we acknowledging that we went off. That's why we need a mediator. And it says, but now the righteousness of the Most High without the law is manifest, being witnessed by the law and the prophets, man. Because what the prophets say, Isaiah said, look, our righteousness is as filthy rags. But even in the righteousness of the Most High, which is by the faith of Yahushua, which a lot of you guys don't have, unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference, okay? Because, hey, the scriptures say, if you're going to keep the law, you got to keep all of it to be righteous. And like I said, you guys ain't going up to Jerusalem 3 times a year. Them small heads ain't going to allow you there. All right. So it says here, for all have sinned and has come short of the glory of the Most High. So being justified freely by his grace through redemption that is in Yahushua HaMashiach, man. All right. So that's the point. We have justification through the blood of Yahushua, because Yahushua kept the law perfect. All right. And he picked up the towel for us. Now, do we do away with the law? Do we continue to sin? No. Fuck no. Because, hey, that's crucifying Yahushua afresh, putting him to an open shame. And it says here, whom the Most High have set forth to be appropriation through faith in his blood, to declare his righteousness for the remission of sins that are passed through the forbearance of the Most High. To declare, I say, at this time his righteousness, that he might be just and the justifier of him which believe in Yahushua. So whereas boasting then, oh, I got my fringes on, brother, can't tell me nothing. It excluded.
To all D2 drivers, we're getting off at 4 o'clock. When you come in, I need you to fuel your vehicles up.
It's a negative.
And do not log out of your tablets. Bring them to me so I can log them out properly. 4219, copy.
007 copy and 10-8.
Hold on.
050 copy.
43 copy.
4178 copy.
4215 copy.
Anyway, I'm not filling up shit. I don't work in this department. They can do it.
010 copy.
Anyway,
24 copy.
Anyway, so it says, where is boasting then? It is excluded by the law or works, but nay, but by the law of faith. So there you go. So having faith is a law. It's part of the law. The law of faith, man. Okay, you can boast in your faith in Yahushua. Okay, I have faith in the Lord. And that's what we're doing. And that's going to be our deliverance out of here. Not what you guys are talking about. Prime example. What about the thief on the cross? As a matter of fact, that's the name of the lesson. Spirit gave it to us, man. All right. So this is the book of Luke 23. And I'm going to start at verses 1. It says, and one of the malefactors, which a malefactor is a murderer or a criminal, man, which were hanged, railed on him, saying, if thou be the anointed, save thyself and us. He like, man, nigga, if you the savior, save us, bro. You know, this is a nigga that didn't have no faith. And it says, but the other answering rebuked him, saying, does not thou fear the Most High, seeing thou art in the same condemnation? Like, damn, bro. Like, we're condemned to death, because to be crucified, you condemned. All right, that was a condemnation into you. It says here, we are indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds, but this man have done nothing amiss. So the thief on the cross on the right hand side, which represents perfect balance, and this guy was of the elect, he done wickedness all the way up until his last breath. And this is what he said. He says, and we indeed justly for what we do, reward for our deeds. Basically saying we deserve everything that we done. Okay, but this man have done nothing amiss, meaning Yahushua was innocent. And he said unto Yahushua, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom. That's faith, man. That's faith. And it says, and Yahushua said it to him, verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise, man. Because he went to the spirit world and the Lord forgave that man on the spot, man, because he believed in the Lord. That faith, man, which is a perfect balance. He was on the right hand and the other nigga was on the left hand side. And the angels rejoiced at that statement in the spirit, man. All right. He says, and Yahushua said unto him, verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in faith, in paradise. Salakia. Trying to work and do this at the same time. So anyway, I'm gonna end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. And with that, shalom, wa ba ba ba, shalom.